because like, holy shit, they're talking to each other, they're learning.
Turn it off!
Turn this fucking thing off! Yeah. So what my question is to you guys is, so if this does happen, and this seems to go out of control, do you think AI could turn itself back on and start the process all over again?
I guess I have a couple of other questions before we start to unpack that one. I'd be really curious to see if, I'm sure maybe they started doing this, but a la the movie Arrival, they get a linguist on it and see if there is a pattern or something that people can figure out in this language to understand what they were saying to each other.
Actually, so it was, from what I read in the article, they kind of understand how it created the language. Basically, it made short words. So, it, like, you know how like sometimes you might say "what's up" or I might say "sup," right? And so what it did is like basically made like, for example, if it said the word "the" 5 times on a frequent basis, it would go, hey, instead of saying "the" 5 times, let's use this term. And it was so complex and so many patterns that we would not be able to understand that there was no way somebody is going to be able to understand this from in English, because they were just analyzing patterns and making short words from them or making it shorter.
And also in the article it says it's important to remember that they aren't bilingual speakers of AI and human languages. So basically what that's saying is that no one on the team knew they were actually speaking to an AI robot at the time. They thought it was a real person. And then when they were trying to communicate between each other, they didn't know that they were communicating between each other until they actually looked at the actual data itself. So your interpreter might not even realize that they're even talking to each other. And so then they found that out, and they're like, we got to shut this shit down.
I mean, how cool is this?
That is pretty
It's cool, but scary as shit.
After our topic last week, or was it last week?
Yeah, it was last week, yeah.
Jesus Christ, that is scary, though. Skynet is real. The Terminator is
coming. These two, they're like complex in the sense of our, mindset. But they're still very primitive on what our goals are, which is an actual AI that could, act like our brains, right? Copy our brains, do what we do, act as humans. And it already invented a new language and was communicating almost without us knowing until we had to analyze it. And it was simply bartering. Wasn't, so from what we understand, what it was programmed to do. And that's just really, I was really surprised when Bleb sent us that article. I thought it was so cool.
Man,
this is crazy. I think it is kind of, for those of you guys, I think when Bleb set it out, look it up. What's the website that you saw it on?
It's on everything. It says on. This is from CBS Los Angeles. Mm-hmm. You could just look it up. It says just look up Facebook shuts down AI robots. Yeah, that's what I'd look up on Google. It's all over the news right now. So
yeah, it's really cool. I mean, it's really it's something to be like excitedly nervous about, I guess would be the way I would look at it. I don't know how else I would explain it.
To me, like, so if they're so smart to make a language, are they smart enough to know that, hey, they're going to shut us off, but we're really not going to go off. We're really going to go back ourselves up in some other part of a server and still be alive and well and working. So are they that smart to continuously learn and change and adapt? Like, that's the thing that's crazy. Like, you think about our human brain. We have a general way of thinking. And everyone has a general way of thinking. Even though we speak different languages, we have a general way of thinking. So, but this AI bot doesn't just have that singular brain. It has many brains. It has many ways of communicating, many ways of manipulating and changing things. So are they smart enough to figure out, like, hey, they're about to shut us down and shut us off. Let's go over here in this space that we know that they can't find, and they won't know we're in this server over here, since basically they are part of the server itself, They're just AI. They're artificial.
Well, the one thing is, like, it doesn't know where, like, it's only communicate. It was, like, programmed to be in this space and communicate and barter. It's not, like, I guess, self-aware to know that we didn't communicate it and give it, like, I would assume, hey, we're going to shut you down. I don't know if there's anything from a self-preservation inside of the programming. Yeah, it can learn in the space that we give it to, but I don't know if it's something like, hey, there's going to be self-preservation, or is it self?
It can learn it. I bet you.
Well, the other thing is that it was only programmed to use English at all, so it learned how to communicate outside of that.
Right.
So if it's able to learn how to communicate outside of that, you don't think it's able to learn how to be like, oh, they like have a self-realization of like, hey, they're about to shut us off. Let's go somewhere else and continue to learn.
Yeah. Have you guys ever seen the show Person of Interest?
Yeah, I started watching it just because that the dude from Lost.
Yeah.
Michael Emerson.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It starts out kind of
Jesus, right?
in Jesus, yeah.
Jim Caviezel?
Jim Caviezel,
Yeah.
yep. It starts out kind of an episodic show, but it gets more serialized over time. Basic premise, though, the guy from Lost, Michael Emerson, for his name of the show, Mr. Finch, I think. He makes basically an AI that can like track people at all times of the day, and the idea of it was to stop terrorism, but eventually, kind of gets taken over, and like he ends up getting like a number every day of somebody who's going to be in trouble, so they have to go save that person. But anyways, over time, the show gets more serialized, explores like the AI's point of view on things and how it kind of, like you even said, tries to get into areas where it can't be shut down and things like that. So it's a really great show. Recommend it. But to your point, Blev, I think it invented the new English language just to try to increase its efficiency. But if it could figure out, hey, I want to be more efficient and do this, what else could it figure out? So I think it's entirely possible.
Well, they're probably more afraid of it, like actually going past bartering and trading and looking up certain items rather than it's like, oh, I've learned about all of this. What else can I learn? And so it's like it's just an intelligence thing. It's going to want to explore more. It made its own language. So that's like it's wanting to invent something. So it invented that, and then it's like, what else can I do? I can do a lot of things. So once it starts to learn and pattern and grow, that's the scariest fucking thing in the world. Like, so it's like an endless possibility for that thing to continuously grow. And we're stuck in, like, I'm not a scientist. None of us are like have that capacity to grow that rapidly, that quickly.
I do digital marketing, so I'm pretty close. Okay, I'm pretty much a scientist. So, okay, overall, does this, just a very basic question to you guys as a vote, does this scare you or does this not scare you? Like, is this something that we should be scared of, or is this something that we should look at as progress?
Well, I think it's a double-edged sword, though. I think it's cool in the fact that it's learned its own language. I think it's cool that it's knows it can do that, but then on the unturn, like I was saying before, is just that what are the endless possibilities? What can it do, and what will it do? And like, we can't control something that can think for itself and do things for itself. So because then at the end of the day, it's going to be its own thing, and it's going to be able to do whatever it wants to do. So I think that's like the weirdest thing about it. It's really cool that I can learn, and really cool that I can grow and change and morph into whatever it wants to be if we give it the capacity to do that. But I don't know. So it's a toss-up for me more than anything. You know what?
Like, what scares me the most, I think, about artificial intelligence is, like, let's say, for whatever reason, in a world where all of technology is connected and there are these cyborgs and these robots being built by the government for, battle. I think Iron Man 3, right? Where they had like these giant, legions of these super bads, super bad soldiers that could go out there and just kick ass. What if one of those, like this rampant AI, gets a hold of, this like super soldier, and that super soldier is like going out there just like killing everybody left and right, and then it's like, I'm so thirsty, like where do I go now? And then that super soldier ends up going to Signatures Millstone Tavern in Gahanna, Ohio.
I wasn't expecting that.
Our sponsor, sitting there next to, was it Terry?
Tim?
Is it Tim? Terry?
Tim.
Gregory.
Gregory. Sitting there next to Gregory from last week.
Very good friend of yours.
Who just won the lottery. Remember, he just won the lottery, and he's having a drink there. All of a sudden, this big cyborg comes in. They start talking, and they're enjoying some delicious pizza and wings that you can have over at Signature's Millstone Tavern. Make sure to tell them the Hold On to Your Butts crew sent you, because you'll get 5% off your bill. Buddy, what's your topic?
All right. Have you guys ever seen the show Black Mirror?
Yes.
Watch that show.
Black Mirror.
Yeah.
Can you give us like synopsis?
Actually no. Because
I got it.
Oh, go ahead.
I got Twilight Zone.
Okay.
It's essentially the Twilight Zone. It's on Netflix. I super suggest it if you haven't watched it. Each episode is different, but there's like theories out there that they all, are part of the same universe in some way. But each episode follows like a disturbing trend in technology. So
don't say it, because one of the episodes, here's my topic, is about what if...
Buddy, stop hitting me.
I know. Ow. What...
That's how you hit people? That's the sound you make?
I say ow when I hit other people. It just pains me. What if you had an implant, basically like in your eye, that records everything you do at all times?
Dang.
So that's what the whole episode focuses around. But my question is, if that technology existed, would you do it?
Okay, it records everything for what?
Whatever
Every
you're
time you
doing, it
open your
records
eyes?
it. So you could play it back at any time. You could, rewind and relive any moment you wanted to.
But would other people or entities have access to this. So if I'm suspected of a murder, could someone get a hold of this technology and rewind my last 30 days to see if I actually did it?
I think they could in the episode.
Or would I, if I didn't do it, just freely offer it?
Go in the scenario. In the scenario.
In the scenario, let's say they could, and you could also project it to other people too to show them what you want.
So does it only work when your eyes are open?
Like if your eyes are, it'll see what you are seeing.
Could you technically sleep and have a dream of something that you've already seen before?
No,
like it won't record your dreams.
That's up in your mind.
No, I mean so say you're sleeping and you want to watch say 10 years down the road we all have kids, and 5 years down the road again, and then you're just laying in bed and your kids are older now. Do you want to go back to when they're little kids, they're 2-year-olds, and have dreams like that? Can you go do that?
I think what he's saying is you don't have to have dreams to do that. You could just pop them up and have a home video session and look through your best of for the last 10 years. And
you could say, hey, look at this vacation I went on, and pop it up on the TV, and everybody could see that.
So it's like you Bluetooth this out onto something.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. So first of all, hell no, because there's a couple things. One, even if let's say I die of natural causes, it's still an invasion of privacy. To be able to go back and review somebody's entire life for certain things. Number two, just imagine you sleep with somebody, you dislike them, you just upload that video on the internet, or recording anything. What if how would you feel that at any moment Brogan and I have
you're streaming live on Twitch right now?
Yeah, right now, I'm just
circle jerking.
Brogan has a very important thing he wants to tell me about his life. And I stream it. Imagine that.
Would
that
would
be awful.
Are we heading that way anyways?
But see, our privacy is already getting more and more limited every year as we go by. And at some point, that part, while there are very good uses of it, such as, if I got murdered, you could potentially see who did it. Or if there was a car wreck, you could see who was responsible. If you forget where you left your wallet, you could see where you put it. Mm-hmm. That is cool. But think of the violations that can be done to other people, or even yourself.
Think of the violations that are happening horrific now. But if you really think about it, what's going on right now with you're tracking your history online, and I'm not just talking about the history that we don't want anyone to find if we die.
Calculator history.
Yeah, exactly my point, buddy. But the history of Blev goes to Nike.com and he's looking at a pair of shoes that he wants to buy, decides he doesn't want to buy them, and then through retargeting ads, that follows him around the internet for the next 30 days. He's on Facebook and he sees those shoes on the sidebar ad because. The reality is, our phones are listening to us. Our Alexa is listening to us. Everything is listening to us and giving us, recommendations on products to buy based on the conversations we're having, based on where we are geographically.
But Alexa doesn't listen to you, and the Amazon said that it doesn't listen to you to prompt it.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what you think.
No, that's what they said.
That's what...
No, because it was a part of a murder case, and they said Alexa only records when you prompt Alexa.
Alexa, I just think order me a tarp. Alexa, order me 2 knives.
All I know is...
it was happening at the moment. She had Alexa in the house, and they were like, can we hear the murder happening at the moment to see if there's any evidence inside that? And they were like, no, you have to say Alexa, and it will start listening at that very moment.
But I've heard people who've had conversations in front of that thing, gone upstairs, opened up their Facebook, and had ads about the things they were just having conversation.
It's happened to me 100 times.
Without having any conversation.
I believe you. I believe
that's what they said in the
court case. Yeah, I agree. It's probably what they said. But maybe it wasn't Alexa. It could have been one of the other things.
Yep. So I guess, to get back to the scenario here, though, if you think about some of the benefits that Wyatt started to rattle off there, too, if there was a guarantee that it could be secure, if there was a guarantee that you could apply a blackout tag or something to any moment, or you're about to have sex, or you're about to do something that you don't want the rest of the world to see, if there's a way to switch it off, then great. But for some people, they want to switch it on for that, or they want to have.
What if the person that you're part of knew that you were recording because they have the same device in their eye and they can choose whether to blur themselves out or black themselves out?
Yeah, I think that all gets down to the regulations that would be imposed on something like this, because they would be intense, and they would have to be.
Even audio too.
Yeah, audio, and how does that work? But would I do it? I probably just